people who loan money don't like having negative real return. And this is the first time that I can remember where inflation has dramatically outpaced interest rates.
Speaking of inflation, I was going to ask you about that next. It's a really interesting time. I don't, and I could be wrong, but to my memory, we've never had a point in time where the interest rates on debt and loans is 3%, 3.5%, and the inflation rate is 6.5%. I mean, the inflation rate is literally double the interest rates that you can get. So it's a perfect storm for real estate because you're taking on debt that literally costs you less than the rate of inflation. You're amortizing it over 30 years and you're buying assets that historically have always appreciated. So what's your take on that?
It's unsustainable. It is a crazy macroeconomic environment, right? And so I think people should expect that interest rates will have to increase, and hopefully inflation will decrease, right? 6% inflation, especially for practices that have fixed reimbursement because of their insurance component, is not necessarily a good thing. And
No.
there's, I would say, labor inflation in dentistry is as fast or faster than the national inflation rate. So something has to give, right? So people either need to be able to pass along those higher costs, which means insurers will have to reevaluate their rates and their reimbursement structures, or the inflation has to occur. But from a macro level, I think that you'll see a change in the stance of the Fed, even though Jerome just got reappointed. I think he's going to have to become a little bit more hawkish and raise rates. And I think and we anticipate that happening. Long term, inflation is inversely correlated with interest rates because people who loan money don't like having negative real returns,
Right.
right? And this is the first time that I can remember. There have been times historically, if you're a financial historian, where inflation has dramatically outpaced interest rates. I mean, think of like World War II Germany and countries in like Brazil. But that's bad for the economy, right?
Yeah.
Because now where do you put your money where you can get a safe return and it actually is delivering a real return? So can't continue.